Good evening, Texas bikers and bikers all across the nation. This is Texas Biker Radio number 399, and tonight is Corona Hour number 7. That's right. Get your Corona beer, snuggle up to the cell phone, snuggle up to your computer, and snuggle up. Maybe you got it going through a big screen television. Whatever floats your boat. So, uh, right now, OG, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, OG, our national VP, and Geezer, there he is over here, our national SA. Uh, I just opened my Corona beer to have our Corona hour going, and let's wait and see if anybody gets on the chat line here. Say something. Let me see. I'm going to say something real quick. Here we go. Maybe somebody will answer back. But anyway, the first swig of a Corona beer. Here we go. And it's ice cold, everybody. Ice cold. Oh, wow. Wow. Oh, gee, was that ever good?
I got mine.
I'm telling you. Hey, look. Let me see. Oh, hey, let's start out. Oh, hey, hi, Mike. How you doing? Rick, how you doing? Yeah, I hear you. Hell yeah. One more swig before I start my story here. Last Sunday, we'd been over to the Fort Worth stockyards, and we had our meeting and the mission we were on over there, and so we split up and everybody headed home. And S.A. Geezer was riding beside me down Highway 287 coming out of Fort Worth, and then all of a sudden there was this thing in the road. I'm telling you, this thing in the road. I don't know what it was, but I hit it, and I really don't know where it came from. Just all of a sudden, it was in front of me, and I hit it, and my street glide leaped into the air. It's like riding a bronc, a bucking bronc, and rear end of the bike came up. I mean, it was a heck of a ride. And but we got it bent the front rim on the motorcycle and did some other damage. One of the rear shocks was blown, and but we got it stopped safely. Front tire was flat, and I did ask Geezer. I said, "Did you see that?" And you didn't see it either, did you?
No.
It just came out of the blue. I don't know where in the hell it came from. If it fell off a truck, if somebody threw it out in front of us, don't know what happened. But we did go back looking for it, and I went back looking for it again and again, wasn't able to find what it was. So I'm assuming that it fell out of a truck or something, and somebody went back and picked it up because we couldn't find it. And let me tell you, it was a heavy object. It was heavy as heck because it didn't budge very much. And like I said, I didn't have time to brake or anything. And that was probably a good thing. Really was. So the bike just basically leaped right over it, although it did damage to it. But let me say something, and and I was just thinking as we were riding along about debris in the road, because we just passed a rubber alligator in the road, one of those tire treads from a truck that flies off, or a car. And so, but I was just thinking about debris in the road. We're running about 75 miles an hour. But man, we just wanted to throw the warning out there, man. Be cautious. Have a look down the road, especially in these cities like Dallas and Houston and other places, Austin. And especially like the 287, where there's just garbage all over the damn highway all the time. Now, OG, when I went back and looked there the next day, and I noticed all the debris on the road, and it's excessive. And the only thing I can attribute that to is the fact that Kennedale is a wrecked car haven. There's scrap yards all over the place there in Kennedale. And so, stuff falls off those trucks, and the city does not do a good job of cleaning up the mess that's on that highway. And that would be Fort Worth, Texas. So maybe I got something to go bitch at the city council about, huh?
Well, I would say, somebody needs to start complaining because that's dangerous as hell, even for cages, because they can throw that stuff up. It could go through someone's windshield. It's just not good. Plus which, you bring up a good point about those gators on the road.
Oh, yeah.
That time of the year has come when they are going to multiply. It is breeding season for the gators. And the main reason being is truckers tend to get a little sloppy sometimes, and they fail to keep checking their tire pressure. And trucks typically run with retreads. The only tires that cannot be retread on a truck are the front ones.
Yeah, correct.
So they run on retreads because they're a lot cheaper. They get a lot of tires on that truck, and when they run low pressure, those caps just come flying off. They heat up real quick.
Yeah, and I want to say hello to Lori Bell, and In God We Trust. There's not a name with that, just In God We Trust. I believe that to be true, sir. That's right. And Jonathan Harris. And so welcome, guys. Hey, look, we're here tonight. In spite of the coronavirus, Geezer and I are social distancing. Well, kind of.
We're almost 3 feet away.
Yeah, kind of. And tonight we have a thermometer. That's right. We have a thermometer here. I can take Geezer's temperature. Oh my God.
127.
What? We won't talk about it. We're not going to tell anybody. The law may show up. One of those Gestapo guys that comes around. But we also have hand sanitizer. Yeah. This is one of these giant bottles of hand sanitizers that you can buy for at Buc-ee's for $1. Oh, yeah. So it's enough for a couple of hand jobs. I said something funny. So anyway, make sure you get that giant bottle of hand sanitizer. Oh, look here. And we got gold, everybody. We got gold. If you can find this stuff, these Clorox wipes, oh, yeah. They're fighting in the aisles over it. Still. But they just can't get enough of that. And on top of that, everybody, we have our gloves. That's right. And so I guess we can be part-time proctologists. That's right. Geezer, do you want to bend over and demonstrate?
Practice on Gus.
You can tell it's going to be. Just a minute. I got to have another swig. This stuff is cold.
They're baby bottles.
You know what? Yeah, they are. You know what Geezer brought me, OG?
What?
He brought some damn Bloody Marys. So anyway, we're set.
The show's liable to go to hell tonight.
That's right. As far as COVID-19 goes, or the name that you should be saying is the China virus, because that would be correct, the China virus. But let me tell you, OG and Geezer, there's no time to say buy American. And I know it's hard to do. But, I mean, we've learned over the weeks that AMC Theaters is owned by the Chinese. And I would suggest to you that you do not frequent an AMC theater from this point on. Period. And you should let Walmart know that you're not happy buying their China shit. And any other retail stores that are doing this. Now, like I said, I'm not stupid. I know that's awfully hard to do because everything is made in China. Just about. But it's time we change course. And we're going to have to force these people into that because there are politicians that have sold us out over the years. And I was in the middle of the battle back in the late 70s and on into like 1984 when they started passing NAFTA. And we were telling them what was going to happen. And we were correct in what we were saying, that we would lose our manufacturing base. And it's, you've heard the count. 60,000 manufacturing businesses have been lost overseas. Period. And on top of that, millions of jobs were shipped out of this country. And I can tell you as an aircraft worker, that our union and everybody else used to come in with a line of bullshit saying, hey, this is a good thing. We're going to ship these parts over there. They're going to build them in China. We're going to get more work. Now, Mel, I was sitting there and I said, well, how in the hell do you figure that? We're training them. We're giving them our jobs. How are we going to get more work? Now, those billions, they got like a billion citizens in China. Are they, all those poor people over there, all of a sudden going to become world travelers? I mean, so, yeah, I'm going, well, yeah, it doesn't make sense. Because of all those people that market that they were talking about, they thought we were really going to cash in, and we did anything but cash in. Some large corporations cashed in, but the American worker didn't. And OG, you want to comment on that, or maybe you, Geezer?
Go ahead.
I put OG to sleep again.
No, I thought Geezer was going to jump in there. Certainly COVID is a real thing. How it got here, we're probably never really going to know for sure. How it was propagated, who started it. One thing's for damn sure, it started in China. China has kind of held us hostage.
Yeah.
So made in America, even if you got to pay a couple extra bucks, you need to buy stuff that's being made in America.
Yeah.
Let me give you an example. Our MC recently had to order some new patches, some new 3-piece.
Yeah.
And I was talking with our vendor down in Florida, and he manufactures the 3-piece patches. However, I was going to place an order for a larger number thinking we'd get a bigger price break. And he said, well, certainly you can get a bigger price break. He said, however, I am only set up to do batches of 24. And if we exceed that number, I've got to have the patches made. He said they're manufactured in China. And he said, I can get you a good price. And I said, no. I said, we are going to reduce the order and pay more just to make sure these patches are manufactured in the United States.
Right.
Now, you know, can I attest to every patch that we get, like our flag patches and stuff like that? It's probably very difficult to get any of them made in the United States. But most of our patches are made here. That is for sure. They're handcrafted by vendors in the United States.
Yeah.
And everyone needs to start thinking like that.
Yeah. That's true. That's true. You know, and we went on a mission to the Fort Worth stockyards last Sunday. Beautiful day. We went into the stockyards mainly to see what was going on, see what the businesses were doing, see if any of them had the guts enough to open up, because they were allowed to open up. So we went over there to check things out and also let the popo know that we're still around. And to see if they were aggravating anybody over there. And, but you know, the stockyards, the Fort Worth stockyards, the tourists go there. It's always busy as heck, or it was. But let me tell you, it's dead. It's dead. The people aren't coming out, or at least not many. It's groups like us that get out there and go and try and give them some business. And so, you know, it's sad to think that you know, like the one business down there that we know of quite well should be open. It's outside. What the hell is that owner's problem? He's scared to death. He's waiting to see is what he's doing. And what we are doing is encouraging everybody to get out there and open up. And I'm not, you know, I mentioned 75% the other day because that's what they're going to need to even have a chance at making a profit. They need to open up 100%. Because they've got to get it going. And, you know, the people are still scared. Many people are still scared. Even though I can't tell it when I go into one of these damn grocery stores where they're just running around willy-nilly. Some people are wearing masks. Some people are not. It's not mandatory here in Texas that you wear a mask. So the governor just opened things up for some restaurants, some businesses, 50%. Bars now can open at 25%. And, you know, that's not going to cut it. That's not going to cut it. So we're going to say to everybody, hey, get out there and just open up. It's unconstitutional what they're doing. And Geezer, you had something to say about that, right? The legality of this?
Yeah,
See, I catch him off guard.
the Texas Supreme Court, I guess it was today or yesterday, they put out that the Constitution is not suspended when the government declares a state of disaster. It's up to the government to prove. They have to bear the burden of proof that showing that the restrictions they place on businesses and individuals are necessary. And thus far, I haven't seen them prove that what we did was necessary.
Exactly. Now,
well, I'll tell you how they're getting by with it. They're getting by with it because they're throwing a bunch of bogus numbers out. They're representing that they have these panels of scientists and medical experts, and it's all smoke and mirrors. But that's how they're bamboozling the public.
Mm-hmm.
They're misrepresenting based on models that either don't exist or are someone's imagination. You talk about the restaurants being able to open and everything. Went out last night in an attempt to go to a small restaurant to get a bite to eat, to just sit down and relax.
Yeah.
And these places are scared to death to open to the public.
Yeah.
Probably for a couple of different reasons. One, the different cities are placing the onus on the owners to keep the place sprayed clean, the whole bit.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of these owners are afraid they're going to get sued by people that claim that they got COVID in their establishment.
Right. Because
let's not forget, this country has become basically a litigious society.
Mm-hmm.
And it's because that's been allowed, anyone can sue anyone for just about anything anymore.
Yeah.
But I'm appalled. All these small restaurants, most of these fast food places are still drive-up window or curb pickup only.
Wow.
It is frickin' unbelievable.
You're going to find it different when you come to Arlington. Because you can go in, you may not find, and it really, you know what? Now is a good time to go out and eat. There's not that many people that are doing it. So yeah, you go in there, you basically have a nice, quiet meal. Because there's just not that many people that are participating.
Everyone's drank the Kool-Aid.
That's right. That's right. But I do believe the more we and other groups get out there, people are going to get, you know what, OT, and I know young people, they're getting out there. They're getting out there. They will not be locked up. Now, a person like me that has all the underlying conditions, and of course, you guys know I've gotten out there. Geezer's sitting here next to me. Well, he's not that close. But,
I could spray that far if I could.
Yeah, if he sneezed, it could probably go 20-something feet, no telling. That's what they were claiming. The booger could go 29 feet, or 27, was it? Now, how did they measure that? And the force coming out of your nose can be 90 miles an hour. Who used that radar gun? Just saying, everybody. There's all kinds of claims out there. And Mel, you know what came out today? You know what came out today? That the COVID virus doesn't really last all that long on other surfaces. Hello, everybody. Hello. We've gotten bad information again and again and again from the beginning of this thing. By what it is supposed to be is science. Now, the science is based on bullshit because they just didn't know. And there's a whole lot of guessing going on, guys. A whole lot of guessing is what I'm thinking. And I don't think I'm wrong. Because they didn't have the data to go by. Everybody was just throwing shit out there. And I know I put us into another category by saying shit. Sorry, YouTube. But anyway, it's frustrating to see what's going on. And now we see politicians in the blue states and also our local politicians here, because all these cities, the larger cities, are run by progressives. And they're trying to slow walk everything. They're still trying to scare everybody to death. The Dallas mayor said yesterday, even though we're opening up, realize there's still a pandemic going on. Well, like we're stupid and don't know that. I don't know who the hell he's talking to, that he thinks is that stupid that they don't know a pandemic is going on, that they don't know a virus is sneaking around out there, because they do. There are some people that are taken serious, some people are not. Period. And the more we see of the bullshit science, the more skeptical we are about the whole thing. And Mel, just like you mentioned, the Hong Kong flu. Nobody's shut down for any of that kind of shit. Nobody. We'll let that beep go right there. I'll call him back in a bit.
Yeah, no, I mean, they held Woodstock right in the middle of Hong Kong flu.
Yeah.
There's no doubting people are going to die from pneumonia, the flu, drop dead from heart attacks. It's going to go on and on. As a matter of fact, there are articles now, and I can kind of attest to this. I mean, I haven't been to the gym in 2-3 months now,
Mm-hmm.
and you can feel yourself start to go downhill from not exercising, not working out, not being on that treadmill. There are the incidence of heart attacks are increasing now because people are becoming more sedentary because they're sitting at home. And, you know, at some point you got to say, you know, am I going to live the rest of my life in fear? And am I going to be afraid that I'm going to catch something? Or am I just going to live my life and, hey, when it's my time, it's my time.
Yeah.
People need to get out there. Enough of this crap. Let's get out there and start living our lives. And the hell with the governmental authorities that think they know more than anyone else and want to control us.
Yeah. Actually, we got to get out there and lead the charge. It's your constitutional right to not be pinned up in your house based on a bunch of misinformation. And let me tell you, there's so much misinformation going on. Now you don't know which way's up. Because the media, like I said, the media, progressives, everybody else is putting so much misinformation out there. You don't know which way's up. You know, all I can know is that one of the number one contributors in New York City for spreading the coronavirus was their public transportation. And you know, I don't know that they ever shut that thing down fully, but I know here in this state, in the Metroplex here, they haven't shut it down. They haven't shut it down. So it kind of lets you know that, you know, hey, look, I don't know how serious they were about this thing. When you see them doing things like that, when you discovered that that was one of the number one contributors in New York City. And then they shut the whole nation down based on what was going on there. I promise you, Dallas, Fort Worth, and Texas is not the same as New York City. We don't have people, that many people living on top of each other. Oh, yeah, we've got the apartments, the high-rise apartments and all that crap that they built in downtown Dallas, downtown Fort Worth, and other places. We've got that crap where people, you know, it's like being in a damn cruise ship. And how was that working out? So go figure. But we don't have the density in populations that they do there, and we never were the same as New York City. We shouldn't have had policies that affected them for us. And it took them a while to figure that out. But you know what? Everybody contributed. Everybody helped flatten the curve. And, you know, so in certain states, they're not being rewarded for doing that. And let me tell you, I was so proud of the guys up in Michigan and women that went to the Capitol and started getting haircuts and giving haircuts. that was actually cool as hell. I don't know if you witnessed any of that. And that's probably the bad thing about doing this program live is the fact I can't show you videos of that. But I may here over the next couple of days produce a video that shows you the things that are going on around the country. I think that may be a good idea. Y'all think?
Videos are always good.
Yeah, yeah. And so, but you know what? In our world, things are still slow here in Texas. We've got some stuff that's going on. We've got a trial out in Lubbock that's going on, right, Geezer?
Yeah, the Supreme. It's not Supreme Court. The 7th District Appeals Court. A man was in the gang database, has a license to carry.
And he's a biker.
Been pulled over several times.
Mm-hmm.
Got charged with it. He was acquitted one time. They refiled and he was found guilty. Well, they take it. It's going to appeal now. They heard it today or yesterday, and his lawyer made a real good case that the DPS has a database on license to carry.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, they have a database on the gangs.
Right.
So all they have to do is spend a little time, put them together, and they can put all their time and energy into pulling those people over, knowing they're probably going to be carrying, and they're in a gang database.
Right.
So no police work done at all to speak of.
Here's the deal. So he had a license to carry.
Yes.
Okay. Here's what we got going on in Texas. We have bikers that have license to carry. That means you've been vetted by the state as a non-criminal. But you can find yourself into the gang database even though you've never been guilty of a crime. Now we know there are people in the gang database, we know this for a fact, that don't belong there. They're not criminals. Many of them have security clearances. But yet they find themselves in the gang database. How they got in there, you can't find out because the law operates under a veil of secrecy. These gang databases do. You can't get them to answer shit. And we did a survey and we haven't found anybody that successfully got their name out of the gang database. Not one. Not one. And we know people that have got lawyers hired. Nobody has gotten their name out of the gang database once they're in it. Now, this is wrong. This is unconstitutional. And there's no excuse for this. That an innocent person finds himself in a gang database. And that can be you, that can be your wife, that can be your mother, that can be your father, that can end up in that gang database also once you're in it. Because they would be known associates. Your mom and dad. What the hell? Nobody's allowed to look at it except law enforcement itself, some of the chosen few.
I think California is the only state where they have to let you know if you're in it.
I don't know about that.
There was a law passed, legislation was passed in California where they're now mandated that if your name is going to be placed in the criminal gang database, they have to give you 30 days prior notice and a chance to appeal or answer as to, why your name should not be placed in that database.
Right. Right.
And they are the only state in the country that has had that particular legislation passed.
Yeah.
Now, it'll remain to be seen if they actually do that. But that is a law in California now.
Hey, in Cook County, Illinois, they screwed it up so bad that they had to get rid of their gang database. Matter of fact is they can't even share any information with other police departments anymore. That's how bad they were. There were thousands in their gang database that didn't belong in it. And I would suspect here in Texas and across the nation, there are other gang databases that's the same way. Just based off of what we see going on and the fact that the governor and the lieutenant governor and the attorney general allows them to operate under a veil of secrecy. But hey, this thing that's being appealed is a good thing.
Yeah.
We get a right decision out of that, and man, it may change the ball game. We'll see, and we'll keep an eye on that, and let you guys know. I mean, it's motorcycle profiling exists because of the gang database. Motorcycle profiling is a way to gather up data and put you and maybe one of your family members into a gang database. Whether you belong there or not, you may have been to an event where there's just where there was some 1% clubs that were there. And let me tell you that there's not one 1% club in Texas that's been identified as a criminal organization. Maybe, no, not one. I started to say maybe one, but not one. Not yet. Hasn't happened. So, go figure, everybody. But understand the rest of the nation is getting a good look. They're getting a good look at what we've been enduring for quite some time. And they're getting a good look at what socialism looks like in the blue states because they want to control you. They want to control everything you do. And so, beware. Know what it is. Teach your children well. I mean, you've had them home here for weeks. When they go back to school, the indoctrination begins again. Now's a good time to set things right. Go ahead, OG. I'll take up all the damn time. I'll take all the air in the room if you let me. Hey, there is some good news. The Waffle House in Ennis, they're back to 24/7 with dine-in. You can dine in. We may just go out there.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
It's a little warm.
Not warm. How much alcohol did you put in that?
Oh, just a little bit.
Just what, a bottle? Damn. Okay. I need a straw for that one. Let me see. I did cover the Illinois. Let me tell you, I really we're going to get back to that again for a minute. Did any of you guys see the haircuts and stuff going on up there? You see that, geezer?
In Michigan?
Yeah.
No.
You kind of had to go look for it. The news didn't really put it out there all that much. I would have thought they would have done more on it, but they didn't really put it out there that much. You had to kind of go looking for it. But let me tell you, it was the people who were doing that were brave. They were getting fined. They were getting citations, and you can expect that. But I promise you, once you get to court, and you may have to appeal it, and get it out of the hands of the county or whoever's doing the dirty deeds. They're sending the Gestapo out there. Now they're not acting. For the most part, law enforcement is being saying, "Hey, we got to do this. We're being told to do it. We got to go out there and do it."
Well, I was going to say, you can understand the politicians in this, like the governors and stuff like that, because they're typically crooked anyway.
Yeah, they are.
Okay. Let's just call them for what they are. They're crooked. They're dictatorial. They don't give a damn what the hell you want once they get elected. They'll promise you anything. What is most disappointing here is that these governors have issued executive orders, not laws. And these police departments, this is what's really disappointing. These police departments are enforcing this bullshit like it's law.
Yeah.
And I'm saying shame on law enforcement for this, because you ought to stand your ground. You guys know the Constitution. You're sworn in to uphold the Constitution, not a dictatorship.
Yeah.
And that, to me, is the most disappointing thing I have seen so far. I expect what we're seeing out of some of these crooked politicians. I fully expect that.
Yeah.
And, there was a day when they were either run out of town and tarred and feathered, or they were hung at the nearest tree. And those days ought to return.
Yeah.
But it's law enforcement. That was subtle.
Let me say this. Law enforcement and those above them, they pick and choose all the time the laws they want to enforce. The things they want to enforce. There are laws that they don't mess with all the time. You can violate them all day long and they're not going to say a damn thing. Because it may not be worth
Especially
their
in these
time.
sanctuary cities.
Yes. Well, they are a perfect example. There are laws on the books that they do not enforce, and their mayors and maybe governors are telling them not to enforce those laws. Now, this is a perfect example of not enforcing laws. You shouldn't enforce a law that you know is, it's like in the military. You know you don't have to obey a command that you consider illegal. You don't have to. Now you're going to get your ass in trouble, but you don't have to. So, it's the same thing. It should be the same thing with those guys. If they see something that violates your constitutional rights, they shouldn't be jacking with you at all. And that's the same case with these guys that are on these motorcycles. And I don't give a damn if you're in a club or not, who you are. If you've been vetted by the state as a non-criminal, and those vettings that they do are thorough, you shouldn't be held and arrested as a criminal carry individual. You shouldn't be, because you've been vetted. And it doesn't make a damn about that gang database, because that gang database is full of erroneous information. Period. You may be a member of a club. That does not mean you're a criminal just by being a member of a club. That is total bullshit. Total. But That's me. Law enforcement is going to see it another way because they've been putting the narrative out there. And oh, have we seen the narrative everywhere we go? We see it at every level of government. The FBI is a piece of crap. And OG, I think there should be a lot of cases reopened based on the way the FBI operates. Because what's going on at the top is going on at the bottom. Monkey see, monkey do.
Oh yeah, this if this ever pops open, there could be a hell of a lot of retrials going on, or evidence withdrawn, or declared illegal, all kinds of crap.
Yeah. So I do think there needs to be some trials reopened, because we know people that have been sent to jail for many, many years on the evidence that just wasn't there. It just wasn't there. But yet they find themselves in prison. And like we saw in Waco, they tried to send over 100 people to prison. And in the process, they tried to ruin their lives. And many of them, they did just that. Hello, General Flynn. So we've seen enough of this stuff to know what it is and to point it out and to speak to everybody. And we see it now going on in the highest levels of government, the things that have been happening to us for years, for decades. But I guess that would be covered under the Gestapo versus the Constitution. That's what I call it. When you have the police going out there trying to implement these plans of these lunatics that are really just trying to slow walk everything to hurt the economy so they can hurt Trump. That's the bottom line. It's not that they give a damn about anybody, because that's not it. They just want to hurt Trump, period. And they're willing to throw the entire country under the bus to do it. I mean, I'm beside myself at what's going on. And, you guys, we'll battle this with every breath we have in the coming weeks. And I don't know, maybe we should put a national thing out there, open up day for the whole country. So just, everybody, go to the freaking beach, go to your favorite bar, whatever, just do it. Tell them to open up. You're tired of it. You're tired of the misinformation. You're tired of the media whining. Everybody's whining and trying to scare you to death. You know what? The virus is dangerous. Take precautions. Do what you need to do for yourself and your family. But tell these politicians to go to hell. It's like they said, we can't let the cure be worse than the virus itself.
Well, isn't that what, I know you weren't around. I'm not insinuating that you were around, but isn't that what we did in 1918 with the Spanish flu?
That's exactly right.
We told people that needed to stay away from people, and the economy, people kept working. We shut old people down, and then we got herd immunity by doing it that way too. And right now we're trying to keep everybody safe from getting it.
Yeah. What do you think about herd immunity, Mel? OG?
I had a conversation with my nephew, who's a doctor, and he's pretty bright. And he said he thinks there's merit to it, but he's not real sure that it's an absolute. He said it makes sense.
Yeah.
But you can't find anything out there that says absolutely it's a fact.
Mm-hmm.
But it does. You can run that parallel to other things they talk about. Okay, these people that always use these hand sanitizers.
Mm-hmm.
If that's all you use all the time, or pure antibacterial soap,
yeah,
pretty soon it's totally ineffective.
Mm-hmm.
You know, your body needs bacteria to keep your immune system up to snuff. If you don't give your body anything to fight, your immune system starts to fade, and the minute you're exposed to something, you're a dead duck.
Mm-hmm. Wow. For some reason, we lost our chat thing there. I apologize, everybody. Don't know what happened. But, yeah, Mel. Hey, in closing here, as we get ready to end the program, I mentioned the other day, there's somebody that should never get close to the Oval Office. And that somebody is, Joe Biden is having great pressure put on him to pick this person. And her name is Stacy Abrams. Now, I read someplace also Shirley Abrams. Now, that woman is a piece of work. And it's not because she's black. It's not because she's hefty. It's because of her well, how should I say it, OG? But because of her beliefs. Now, she was in the Georgia state legislature where she did nothing for years. Then she ran for the governor here in the last election cycle, and she lost by 55,000 votes. Now, she has yet to say that or concede her loss. She believes in her mind that blacks were kept from the polls. Black voting suppression is what she's out there saying. And she's got other progressives out there, women that are saying the same thing. She should be governor, not the person that won by 55,000 votes. They're not going to accept that. But anyway, great pressure is being put on Joe Biden to put this woman in as to pick her as his VP. Let me tell you, if race is injected into everything. And we had 8 years of Barack Obama where everything was about race. But this would be
on steroids.
Oh, big time. Now, she believes in black socialism. And let me tell you, our Constitution, Joe Biden would not be president at that point. Matter of fact is, I don't believe he'll last 6 months before he gives it up. I mean, when I listen to Joe Biden talk, and OG, my 92-year-old dad who's had a stroke and has dementia, Joe Biden sounds just like him when he speaks. Just like him. Now, Joe Biden's not on script. He's all over the place. So he's campaigning from his basement. He's not getting out there making as many gaffes as he was, although he's making enough But everybody knows that after watching him or listening to him for some period of time, that he's not all there. His elevator is just not going to the top. It's just not. And whoever would be the VP would be our next president. Fast. So his choice is frightening at this point. Whoever he might pick. Let me tell you, socialism sees an opening. And they're making an all-out assault. And it will be an all-out assault on our freedoms and our Constitution. That's what's going to happen with the media in tow. And everybody should be ready to put up a fight like they've never put up before. Your children have been indoctrinated. It is time we stand up and continue on the path that we were on before all this crap hit, all this virus hit. And OG and Geezer, I'm still not convinced that the deep state wasn't involved in this. And let me tell you, the socialists, whether they be China socialists, China communists, American socialists, socialists all across Europe, they stick together. And I just do believe that this may be a plan. This whole thing. Now, I know that's stepping out there a lot, but you look out there and you see what's happening. You see the media, you see politicians taking up for China and the World Health Organization that steered us into this mess. What the hell are we to think? What are we to think? And in ending here, you guys, do you want to make a comment? Go ahead, Geezer.
Well, on a lighter note, Strokers is going to be opening up tomorrow.
That's right. And in case you guys out across the nation, well, Strokers used to have a reality TV show.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it was more about his mother than it was the place in Strokers. But I mean, it's a cool place to go if you're ever in Dallas. You're riding through or driving through or whatever you're doing. You are connected to the motorcycling community. Make it to Strokers. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. It's a cool place.
Throws you back in the 70s.
That's right.
A lot of psychedelic stuff.
Yeah.
They will be mobbed.
Yeah. He does make a lot of psychedelic motorcycles and stuff like that. And so, yeah, it's cool. So congratulations to them. I hope they open up at more than 50%, which I'm almost positive it will, because what we saw over in Fort Worth the other day, there was a lot of things that were way more than 50%. And it was supposed to be 25% at that point. So, and that wasn't the stockyards, that was outside the stockyards. But I won't comment any more than that. I don't want to get them in trouble. But hey, that was pretty cool. Really was. And a great day too. Texas heat will help with this COVID stuff that's going on. And you guys, I don't know what the hell happened to our chat box. He just went away. OG, you got any final comments?
Yeah, next show we're going to go a little more in depth on motorcycle tires, air pressure, and what the hell can happen to you.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm probably the world's worst OG at going out there and just jumping on my bike and heading out.
Well, you'll probably be a convert by the time I get finished.
Yeah, well, I have a tendency to just go, because that's the way I've been all my life. Just get up and go, and usually at the top speed.
Well, we've had several members in the past that jump on and
Oh yeah,
they'd stop somewhere and all you see is thread
yeah.
thread on the tire.
Oh yeah. Well, you know what? That'll be a good thing to talk about. And you guys out there around the country, ride safe. Encourage people to open their businesses, and stay tuned. We're going to have more coming on. I'll create a video about stuff that's happening around the country, and make some comments about it. You guys, we love you. Have a good time. Ride safe. Bye-bye.
Good night. Be safe.
Good night.